Prabhupada's, one of Prabhupada's principal concerns, obviously, was that this movement be continued after he left. And it's naturally the concern of his disciples. And I'd just like to say, when I come to temples like this, when I see the older disciples of Prabhupada's disciples, the younger disciples of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and the youth who have yet to be initiated, when I see how everyone is working so hard, chanting so nicely, so enthusiastic, and following Prabhupada's instructions so nicely, I become so happy and convinced that, yes, Prabhupada's movement will continue after we're gone as well. So I'd just like to express my appreciation and make sure Prabhupada's so released. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet, our only shelter in this dark age of Kali. Although I am daily chanting your glories in my classes, my letters, and my preaching, something impossible for any of us not to do, an offering on this day of your divine appearance is a different level of glorification. It is our most single-pointed and concentrated effort to search out and express our deepest feelings of gratitude for the love and dedication you have ignited within us. Feelings that have grown throughout the years become the most integral part of our beings. Before I met you, my heart had been broken by the only world I ever knew and could ever find. A world of false conceptions, illusory pursuits, and shattered dreams. The first time I came to the temple, saw your picture on the Vyasasana, and watched the devotees bow down to you, I said to them, when I feel something, I'll bow down. But for now, I prefer to keep standing. Soon after, though, your tidal wave of mercy hit me and literally knocked me off my feet. I found myself diving and surfacing in that wave with a relish I never felt before. The association, the prasadam, the chanting, your words, the sound of your voice, devotional service. If I could have burrowed a hole in the floor to bow lower, I would have done so. What a contrast to the house filled with dogs, hippies, and nonsense that I was still calling my home as I foolishly clung to my last hopes for worldly pleasures. Then one day, I got up with resolve, tossed everything out of my room, cleaned it from top to bottom, painted it, and made a small altar on a box. The altar was now my only piece of furniture, and that altar, my beads, and my Bhagavad Gita became my most valued and only possessions. My friends respected my spiritual direction, but were disappointed when I started turning down invitations to join them in sinful activities. And when I began feeling more at home in the temple than at my home, I moved in, and all my superficial relationships ended. I was now living in your world, my crumpled one rapidly becoming a distant memory. Long hair gone to the wind, bad habits tossed out the window, useless endeavors not given a passing thought, uncontrolled senses tamed, everything offered in your service. And even my heart, my most cherished and guarded possession, is now yours. I finally found someone I could entrust it to, who unlike myself would know exactly what to do with it I remember how difficult it was to fall asleep in the ashram, not because of the thin mats on the floor we lied down on, or all the devotees I was cramped in the same little room with, but because Rupanuga Prabhu, our temple president, would hang up the phone every night and ignite us with all the stories he had just heard of how your Krishna consciousness movement was spreading like wildfire across the globe. What an inspiration. It gave us the unshakable faith we needed to go out daily and push on, no matter what hardships befell us. You would work your magic on us, and your desire for the happiness of every last soul in this world would continue empowering you as Krishna's transcendental magician for the next 10,000 years. At times, I will by chance hear an old Bob Dylan song or the like, and it is true that my heart goes back to my days of sensual pursuits. My meditation, however, sometimes you have to read without thinking about what you're reading. It's tough. I'll do my best. My meditation, however, is not on how much fun those days were. On the contrary, I don't know if I'll be able to do this. I'll try once more. At times I will by chance hear an old Bob Dylan song or the like, and it is true that my heart goes back to the days of sensual pursuits. My meditation, however, is not on how much fun those days were. On the contrary, I recoil, remembering all the loneliness, Could someone else read this? Who's a good reader? That's Kendra.
This one is hard to read. I require.
Wait a second. Can you read this? Oh, just come up and read it. Okay. I'll try one more time. I think I can do it. At times, I have by chance hear an old Bob Dylan song or the like, and it is true that my heart goes back to my days of sensual pursuits. My meditation, however, is not on how much fun those days were. On the contrary, I recoil, remembering all the loneliness, the boredom, the dissatisfaction, and most of all, the intense despair that your unparalleled mercy, that by your unparalleled mercy, I have not felt a tinge of since you took over my life. The love and happiness you have injected me with is unimaginable to those who have not tasted it. Yet by your compassion, it is so easily available to even an undeserving soul like myself. In return for your gift of life, all I can do is continue offering you my heart. Although I am quite ashamed to, soiled as it is, even after all these years of your mercy, but I pray that you accept it as you have always so magnanimously done. For your divine grace is all that keeps it beating. I also pray for the power to guide others to you, so that just like me, they can be swept off their feet and burrow their heads deep in surrender to this world's greatest friend and Savior, begging to remain forever under your shelter. Your insignificant society.
Jai Maharaj ki jai.